Use your emotions as fuel. Something I've noticed in this modern world is that a lot of people seem to be sort of confused about emotions and what it means to be emotionally healthy. And as someone who has struggled with anger and emotional control and poor mental health, I've learned that something that I've noticed is that men and women, I don't care what, if you're a feminist or whatever, I'm just stating what I have found through my learning about mental health and improving my own mental health, is that men and women feel emotions very differently. And so if you're a woman, this video is probably not for you. And you can watch it, but just know that probably most of the advice that I'm going to tell in this video isn't really going to help you if you're a woman. But if you're a man, this is probably very beneficial. Everybody in this world tells you that you need to be in touch with your feelings. Oh, men can cry. It's okay to be weak. Like you just need to be more emotional, Kane. Your emotions and not being in touch with your emotions, that's not the problem. That's not a good thing, because men process emotions very differently than women do. Women can feel multiple different emotions at once. And for women, it is extremely healthy and extremely beneficial to regulate your emotions by letting them out. Because women have different process emotions differently than men do. So for a woman, I don't know what just happened. For a woman, your emotional response and feelings to certain things that happen are going to be completely differently than if you're a man. And the reason for this is that women can feel multiple different emotions at once. Picture imagine a color wheel, right? And you got all of these different colors. If you're a man and you feel emotions, you're only going to feel one of those colors at a time. If something bad happens, you're going to feel sad or angry. Possibly both, but very, very rarely, right? And if something good happens, you're going to feel happy. If something stressful happens, you're going to feel stressed. But if you're a woman, chances are you're going to feel multiple different emotions at once, different shades of colors. And so if you're happy, you're going to be a mixture of happiness and sadness sometimes. You're going to be happy, sad. You're going to be, if you're stressed, you might feel stressed but also afraid at the same time. You're going to feel stressed but also angry at the same time, or sad. Or you'll be angry but you'll also be sad at the same time. So you'll be crying while you're screaming at someone. You're going to feel multiple different emotions at once. And so for women, emotional responses and having healthy emotional responses to certain things can be very healthy and very important for a woman's mental health. But for a man, it's very interesting. Because, at least for me, when I feel something that could trigger multiple different emotions at once, as a man, I kind of devolve into a set emotion. And unfortunately for me, that was anger quite a lot. I don't know about you, but when I'm stressed out about something, I can be very irritable. And it's not fun for anybody, but that's what happens. And something that I have learned is that I believe that the reason for a lot of that irritability, that sort of feeling like multiple, overwhelmed and a lot of different emotions going at once, and then they all just devolve into one, and that becomes anger. That can be a very bad thing. And so what I learned is that it's actually healthier for men not to block out your emotions and be emotionless, but to be able to control your emotions, regulate them and release them in a healthy way, not getting upset about something and just screaming and yelling and shouting at people, but instead feeling an emotion and controlling how you release it. For a lot of people, they can actually control it and release it into love. You can feel an emotion and release it to other people as kindness and compassion. A lot of people will feel anger about a certain bad thing happening, and so they release that emotion of anger into helping the people affected, into doing kind and loving things for people. You can control your emotions into productive things. When I feel angry or upset about something, one of my best things that I do is I can work very efficiently and very effectively when I'm mad about something. It's very interesting. So if I'm really upset, I can have the best workout I've ever had in my life because I'm upset, and so I'm taking that emotion of anger, the very powerful emotion, and putting it into the gym, putting it into training and intense exercise. You can see how it's very powerful to use your emotions as fuel towards important things. Or you can just do what the modern world tells you to do and just be in touch with your feelings. But instead of actually controlling them, you just do whatever your emotions tell you. You feel like screaming and shouting at everybody and having a meltdown, so you scream and shout at everybody and have a meltdown. You feel like quitting, and so you quit. You feel like your goals aren't worth it, and so you stop pursuing them. You feel like giving up, you give up. You feel like a loser, so you act like a loser. You feel like doing bad habits, so you do bad habits. You're emotionally healthy, is what the modern world would call you. You're in touch, and that's what they want you to be. This advice works for women, because women, I don't know how it works, but you guys can feel an emotion, respond to it, and let it out in a healthy way. But men, we are not good at this. This is not one of our skills. We're not meant for this. Our brain and our emotional parts of our brains have a different structure than you guys do. We're not built for this. So rather than listening to the modern world's advice of just be in touch with your feelings and listen to your emotions, ignore it. Live your life how you know you're supposed to live. Channel your feelings into actual goals, into things that will help the world and yourself and other people. That's the way you were meant to do it. That's all I got for today. May God bless you and stay wild.